sa inyong lahat. At sa ating mga kaibigan sa media at sa lahat ng ating mga bayaning frontliners na nandyan pa rin, tumutulong sa atin 24/7. Kahapon po, the IATF held its second meeting for this week and issued IATF Resolution number 24. Pero bago ko basahin yung nilalaman ng resolution na yan, hayaan niyo muna akong banggitin ko po yung development dun sa or latest update sa ating social amelioration program. As of April 15, 2020, the DSWD already forged 1,387 Memorandum of Agreements on SAP or the Social Amelioration Program with various cities and municipalities. So a total of 1,228 LGUs were already provided with funds amounting to 65 billion pesos. If the total amount for the Social Amelioration Program for the various LGUs is 80.9 billion pesos, then this 65 billion pesos already given to the LGUs accounts for more than 80% already downloaded. A total of 236,331 low-income, non-4-piece families received their emergency cash assistance equivalent to 1.3 billion pesos. Now, in addition to the emergency subsidy program, the DSWD has also catered to 14,096 clients for COVID-related concerns tulad ng medical assistance and/or burial assistance in the amount of 67,530,340 pesos and 48 centavos through the regular assistance to individuals in crisis situations. The DSWD has further distributed a total of 400,201 family food packs to various LGUs in the regions amounting to 156,116,899 pesos and 49 centavos. Balikan na naman natin ang IATF Resolution number 24. Ang mga sumusunod, ang mga kasunduan at nilalaman ng resolution na ito. Letter A. Foreign cruise ships carrying Filipino crew shall be allowed to dock in ports in Manila and to be used as quarantine facility for said Filipino crew members, subject to the guidelines to be issued by the member agencies of the sub-task group for the repatriation of overseas Filipino workers, pursuant to their respective mandates. Further, the foreign crew on board aforesaid foreign cruise ships shall be allowed to disembark in Manila for the sole purpose of taking outbound flights to their final destination abroad, as previously allowed pursuant to Interagency Task Force Resolution number 15 series of 2020, provided such foreign crew have also completed the 14-day mandatory quarantine upon disembarkation. Ang mga foreign cruise ship na may dalang mga Pilipinong crew members ay papayagang dumaong sa mga pantalan sa Maynila at magamit bilang quarantine facility nila, alinsunod sa patakaran ng Sub-Task Group for the Repatriation of Overseas Filipino Workers. Ang mga foreign crew members na kasama nila ay papayagang umuwi sa kanilang mga bansa basta matapos din nila ang mandatory 14-day quarantine dito. Letter B. Pursuant to the directive of the President, the Department of Health, in coordination with its Technical Advisory Group, is directed to finalize guidelines for the supplementary utilization of FDA-approved rapid antibody test kits. Ang DOH kasama ang kanyang Technical Advisory Group ay inaatasan na isapinal na ang mga patakaran sa paggamit ng rapid antibody test kits na aprobado ng FDA. Letter C, the following recommendations of the Department of Agriculture are adopted. Number 1, the government shall pursue the optimum level of harvesting activities and planting operations with the support of the National Irrigation Administration, as well as the pre-positioning of agricultural inputs for early planting. The Department of the Interior and local government shall advise LGUs to actively partner with the regional field offices of the Department of Agriculture for the operational planning and implementation of various programs and projects of the agency. Number 3, food value chain logistics shall be improved. And number 4, the Cash for Work program in agriculture shall be explored. Aprobado na rin po ang mga sumusunod na rekomendasyon ng DA. Una, itutuloy po ang pag-aani sa tulong ng NIA at ayusin din po ang pag-preposition ng agricultural inputs para makaani ng maaga. Kalawa, ang DILG ay inaatasang abisuhan ang mga LGU para makipag-ugnayan sa mga regional office ng DA para sa mga pagpaplano ng mga proyektong pang-agrikultura. Pangatlo, ayusin at paigtingin ang food value chain logistics at pang-apat, aralin ang Cash for Work in Agriculture program ng Department of Agriculture. Letter D, the IATF approves the recommendation of the National Economic and Development Authority, NEDA, to pursue supply chain regulatory impact assessments and to develop the supply chain analysis or SCAN dashboard in cooperation with partner agencies and select private entities. The outputs of the regulatory impact assessments shall be referred to the IATF as a whole or any of its member agencies, and the outputs of the SCAN dashboard shall be referred to the National Task Force COVID-19 for its consideration. Aprobado na rin po ang rekomendasyon ng NEDA na gumamit ng supply chain regulatory impact assessments at bumuo ng supply chain analysis or SCAN dashboard sa tulong ng ibang ahensya at pribadong sektor. Ang produkto ng regulatory impact assessments ay ibibigay sa IATF o sa ahensya ng kanyang miyembro, habang ang produkto ng SCAN dashboard ay bibigay sa National Task Force COVID-19 para sa pagsusuri nila. Letter E, the updated nomenclature in classifying individuals for the surveillance and management of the COVID-19 health event is adopted. Patients under investigation with mild, severe, or critical symptoms whose results have not yet been released shall be designated as suspect cases. PUIs with inconclusive test results shall be classified as probable cases. Persons under monitoring shall still be referred to as PUMs and shall still be reported and managed accordingly. Gagamitin na po natin ang mga bagong terminolohiya para sa pagklasipika ng mga individual na pinagsususpetsiyahang may COVID-19 o kumpirmadong COVID-19. Ang dating tinatawag na mga patients under investigation or PUI na may banayad o malubhang sintomas na di pa nilalabas ang resulta ng kanilang mga test ay tatawaging suspect cases. Ang mga PUIs na hindi pa tiyak ay tatawaging probable cases. Ang PUI na may test results na hindi pa tiyak ay tatawaging probable cases. Ang mga taong tinatawag na natin dati na persons under monitoring ay tatawaging PUM pa rin. The Department of Energy shall form part of the expanded membership of the Interagency Task Force. Isinasama na po ang Department of Energy sa expanded membership ng IATF. Bago po natin i-wrap up ang briefing ngayong umaga, may ilang update lang po tayo. Nadagdagan na po ang bilang ng mga laboratoryong sertipikado na pwedeng magbigay ng COVID-19 test. Meron na po tayong 16 laboratories na kayang mag-conduct ng real-time RT-PCR for COVID-19 ayon sa Department of Health. Bukod po dito, binabalita or ibinalita ng Philippine Coast Guard na sinimulan na po ang paggamit ng 2 barko bilang quarantine facility. The PCG kicked off the operations of the quarantine ships by welcoming 90 repatriated Filipino seafarers from South Korea, Indonesia, and Qatar last Tuesday. After being screened, the seafarers were provided with individual room accommodations where they shall complete the 14-day quarantine period. Yung iba na may nauna ng hotel bookings na inayos ng OWA ay mananatili sa nasabing mga hotel para sa kanilang 14-day quarantine. Matapos magsagawa ng medical profiling ang PCG medical teams. Ngayon, base sa huling tala ng DOH, may 230 na bagong kaso ng COVID-19 sa bansa, for a total of 5,453 confirmed COVID-19 cases. The disease claimed 14 more lives yesterday, bringing the total to 349 fatalities. Ibinalita na rin po ng DOH na kahapon, 58 po ang nakarecover na sa COVID-19, kaya 153 total recoveries. Hinuli ko po ang mga bilang na ito para idiin na napakaseryoso po ng outbreak na ito. Itong sakit na ito. Habang tumatagal ang ECQ, human nature po na isipin na nagiging okay na ang lahat. Natural na maging kampante. Ngunit habang may mga kababayan tayo na nahahawa at namamatay dahil sa sakit na ito, habang may mga medical health workers na nagbubuwis ng buhay para labanan ang outbreak na ito, hindi tayo pwede maging kampante. We must stay the course. Kailangan tuloy-tuloy ang pag-iingat, ang paghugas ng kamay, at ang striktong pagsunod sa physical distancing at patakaran ng ECQ. When we stay home and practice social distancing, we save lives. Kaya bahay muna, buhay muna. Together we can beat COVID-19. Together, with the mercy and grace of God, we will heal as one. Maraming salamat po. Sasagutin ko na po ang mga katanungan mula sa ating mga kaibigan sa media. Okay. From Ace Romero, the number of recoveries outnumbered deaths yesterday. What are the implications of this, if there are any? Can this be construed as an indication that the curve is flattening? Why or why not? How will this affect the decision on whether to lift or prolong the Luzon lockdown? Sa palagay ko po, yung mabilis na medical interventions natin ay isa sa mga paraan kung paano natin maiwasan ang fatalities and paano natin ma-improve ang recoveries. So the more tests and the more extensive yung mga testing natin will become, we have to expect certain things, no? gaya ng sinabi ko before, yung testing capacity natin, habang lumalawak yan, dadami yung bilang na maging positive. So, habang dumadami yung bilang ng positive, syempre, pag tinitingnan mo ang numero, mababahala ka na parami ng parami. Pero on the other hand, pag agad nalaman natin na positive, agad-agad natin malalaman ano yung the best medical intervention natin para dun sa biktima na yon. So pag nag-positive, isolate agad natin, treat agad natin. No? The number 2 advantage niyan is mahihiwalay na agad natin and ma-isolate na agad natin mula sa general population. So hindi na magkaroon ng paghahawa yung mga malapit sa kanya within the vicinity. So yun po yung advantage. Kaya the more extensive ang testing natin, kasi ngayon 16 laboratories and then there are more in the pipeline, no, to come. Then mas matetest natin, ma-detect natin, ma-isolate natin, ma-treat agad natin. But syempre ang tinitingnan natin ng ngayon ng numero is yung recoveries, no. Prevention of death and then more recoveries. That's number 1. Number 2, may nakikita rin kaming well, although it's too early to tell, no. Pero may slide na binigay sa IATF kahapon nung nagre-report mula sa RITM at sa mga labs natin. Dati kasi, sabi namin, 17 to 18% ang nagiging positive out of the number of tests, no. So kung ganito karami ang tinetest natin, 17 to 18% yan positive. But there was a slide that was presented to us yesterday na from 17 to 18%, nasanay na kami doon, naging 15%. So it may be also a function of more testing. So the bigger syempre yung number of people being tested, then baka yung naging positive bumababa na rin. But it's too early to tell. Pero ang importante dito is we need to test more so that we can detect more, isolate them, and then treat them. Will this decision affect yung decision whether or not to lift or prolong the Luzon lockdown? I think it also has to do, it will be a factor, no? Kasi syempre, ang tinitingnan nating factor is how, in terms of our health capacity factor, how quick we are able to detect, isolate, and treat. So certainly, that is something that we will also be looking at when we consider yung ano mangyayari after April 30. From Sherry Ann Torres, ABS-CBN, may mga local officials pa rin pong nagre-require sa kanilang mga constituents na makipagkasundo munang hatiin ang cash aid o hindi bibigyan ng social amelioration card form. Ano po ang gagawing sanction sa kanila ng national government? Alam naman ng mga LGUs kung anong pinirmahan nilang MOA, no? At gaya ng sinabi ko dati, ang magiging complication lamang dyan is number 1, magkakaroon ng validation, syempre, ang DSWD. Over and above that, ang COA will also be doing an audit, no? And then, gaya ng sinabi rin namin na nasa MOA rin po, na if hindi qualified yung beneficiary, then kailangan i-refund yung pera na ibinigay doon. Saan pwede maghain ng reklamo ang mga kababayan natin nakakaranas ng ganito at paano ang proseso ng paghahain ng reklamo? Pwede po sa DSWD mismo, sa mga regional offices kung may reklamo, dahil meron naman silang grievance mechanism. Or there are other avenues also, no? Hotline 8888. Ilang barangays o areas na po ang nabibigyan ng cash aid ngayon ng DSWD? Hanggang kailan ang latest na dapat i-release ng DSWD ang social amelioration card? Gaya ng sinabi ko, 80% na po ng mga LGUs ang nabigyan na ng pondo mula sa DSWD. So that's 65 billion already given to various LGUs, and the total amount, no, that we're looking at is 80.9 billion pesos. So that represents a little over 80% na po ng LGUs have already been given the funds. So now, based on the rules, they have to immediately disburse the fund and distribute that to the various constituents po nila. Tapos kasama doon sa pagbibigay, yung pagbigay ng social amelioration card. Tapos, syempre, dalawang portions yun. Yung isang portion, ikikip ng family after filling it up. Yung kabilang portion, ibibigay dun sa LGU for encoding, tapos ibibigay dun sa DSWD. And then after that, immediately after that, magkakaroon ng validation ang DSWD dun sa pamamahagi ng pondo. Although, dun sa distribution mismo, meron ding presence ng DSWD, PNP, AFP, at iba pa. From Maricel Halili, TV5, anong assistance ang pwedeng ibigay sa mga nasa ibang lugar na naipit sa lockdown?